Italy is one of the top destinations on vacationers' wish lists. Whatever your travel preferences, this exotic yet homey nation will fulfill them. Only the most ardent cynic could fail to appreciate the abundance of history, art, food, music, culture, sacred sites, lovely villages, and breathtaking scenery. Before we start our countdown, subscribe to us now. Number 10. Rome. Rome is the top destination on the list for the majority of tourists visiting Italy, both for its historical significance as the capital of most of ancient Europe and for its current status as one of the continent's most vibrant cities. The Colosseum, the Forum, the Pantheon, the Appian Way, and the Palatine Hill are remnants of its former splendor, competing for attention with the Vatican's enormous wealth. Take some time to take in the city itself in between visiting key sites like the Sistine Chapel and Michelangelo's Pieta. Enjoy the Borghese Gardens, enjoy gelato on the Spanish Steps, stroll through Trastevere's winding lanes, sip morning cappuccinos in cafes, window shop on the Via Veneto, and toss a coin into the Trevi Fountain to ensure future visits. To see everything, multiple trips are necessary. Number 9. Florence. Florence, the epicenter of the Italian Renaissance, occasionally resembles a massive art gallery. With its huge dome defying gravity, the Duomo, also known as the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, is an icon of world architecture. This is one of the finest collections of Renaissance art in the entire world, along with its marble, inlaid bell tower by Giotto and the octagonal baptistry with its unmatched bronze doors by Ghiberti. Number 8. Venice. Who wouldn't fall in love with a city where the roads are made of water, the buses are boats, and the gondoliers' lilting songs fill the air? It is a magical city, and the city itself is what draws most visitors. The expansive Piazza San Marco, often known as St. Mark's Square, serves as the city's center and is flanked by many of its key tourist destinations. The lofty Campanile towers over both the enormous Basilica of St. Mark and the Doge's Palace, which are both in Venice. One of the most romantic activities in Italy is a gondola trip. At the Grand Canal's end of the plaza, gondolas assemble. On your route to Rialto Bridge, turn around and enter the Warren of Confined, winding passages through the entrance under the clock tower in the opposite direction. But in Venice, where a postcard vista is around every turn, getting lost is one of the greatest pleasures. Number 7. Tuscan hill towns. Stone towns in Tuscany that have Etruscan roots crown the region's uneven terrain. They are all perched atop hills, and several still have the castles and turrets that formerly provided protection for their dominant locations. Given that each has distinctive architecture, artwork, personalities, and narratives, it is challenging to pick one over the others. San Gimignano, which is surrounded by walls that are still mostly intact and is rather brimming with towers, still resembles how it did during the Middle Ages, when it was a significant stop for pilgrims traveling to Rome. Before the Romans arrived, Volterra was a significant Etruscan center, and the city still has remnants from both cultures. Arezzo's tourist attractions are a result of the numerous writers, artists, and architects that once resided there. Walled Cortona, like Volterra, was an Etruscan settlement that subsequently became Roman, but it also retains traces of its Florentine past. One of the oldest towns in Italy is Cortona. Tuscany is home to several of the top tourist destinations in Italy due to its hill towns' proximity to the cities of Florence, Siena, Pisa, and Lucca. Number 6. Milan. Milan is sometimes disregarded as a travel destination on its own, despite the fact that its airport serves as a significant entry point for travelers. That's unfortunate because Milan is one of the cities in Italy with the highest concentration of creative and architectural sites, making a visit essential for anybody interested in design, fashion, or shopping. The likes of Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Verdi, Enrico Caruso, Toscanini, and fashion designer Giorgio Armani have called Milan their home and place of employment. Number 5. Lake Como. Since the time of the ancient Romans, who escaped the summer heat of Milan to cool off in villas along its rocky shores, Como, Italy's most picturesque lake, has been a popular summer getaway for the affluent and famous. Later villas adorn its compact cities, especially the lovely Bellagio, which is skillfully positioned at the intersection of the lake's three thin arms. The white summits of the Alps to the north may be seen amongst palm trees and camellias on Como's western shore thanks to a microclimate that keeps it mild even in the dead of winter. Before boarding a ship to tour the lake, don't forget to stop in the southern shore town of Como. East of Lake Como is Lake Garda, a summer playground with water sports and other activities, while just to the west of Lake Como is Lake Maggiore, which has its own charms. Number 4. Amalfi Coast. Naples Bay's southern rim is formed by the steep, precipitous Amalfi Peninsula, which projects sharply into the Mediterranean just south of Naples. There is probably no more picturesque or improbable location for the towns that flow down its rocky slopes. Most of these charming communities have stairways for streets, and the homes there appear to be attached to the cliffs behind them. Everywhere there are blooming flowers, and below the villages are inviting beaches tucked away in emerald-colored coves. The town of Ravello is located high above the coast, where lavish gardens frame some of the best views of the coast. One of the most beautiful drives in the world is the Amalfi Drive, which runs along the southern coast. You can also view the coast from the water by taking the 45-minute ferry from Sorrento to Positano. Number 3. Capri and Amp, Sorrento. Only 20 kilometers away from Sorrento, the mythical Isle of Capri rises in rugged cliffs from the Tyrrhenian Sea. The Roman emperors Augustus and Tiberius used it as a hideout, and now it draws a continuous stream of visitors who go there on the daily ferries and hydrofoils from Sorrento and Naples. Despite being quite small, just 6 kilometers at their longest point, Capri and Anacapri are located there. Smart stores and cafes in the lower town are where you can find people, watchers eager to spot a celebrity. The magnificent Villa San Michele and its grounds are located in Anacapri. A visit to the Blue Grotto, a sizable flooded grotto where reflected sunlight gives the water the appearance of being lit from within, is one of the top things to do on Capri. The lovely Marina Piccola, a small beach at the base of the cliffs protected by the rugged Fariglione sea stacks, is located on the opposite side of the island. Number 2. The Cinque Terre. Prior to the railway's connection between the 5 cities by burrowing under the headlands separating them, which is to the north of La Spezia, which cling to the high, rocky Mediterranean coast, it was nearly impossible to reach by land. The shortest and largest portion of the trail, between Manarola and Riomaggiore, is known as the Via dell'Amore and will be blocked until sometime in 2022 owing to a landslide. The trail was originally utilized by inhabitants to travel between towns. Although the majority of visitors come with the intention of hiking the trail, don't discount the pleasures of spending time in these tiny settlements. The most charming towns are Riomaggiore and Vernazza, with their winding alleyways leading to ports surrounded by small rocks. The Cinque Terre is still one of Italy's top tourist destinations, despite its recent surge in popularity. Number 1. Pisa and Lucca. While you're in Tuscany, you should definitely stop by these 2 neighboring towns, one for the extraordinary Campo dei Miracoli complex and the other for its lovable characteristics. The famous Italian landmark known as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is actually the campanile for the nearby cathedral, is the focal point of a UNESCO World Heritage Site that also includes the cathedral, baptistry, and Campo Santo. The magnificent free-standing pulpit by Nicola Pisano, a masterpiece of Romanesque sculpture, is the focal point of the imposing baptistry. A museum showcasing some of the most exquisite gold and silver creations from the Middle Ages and Renaissance completes the ensemble. Nearby Lucca is one of Europe's most enchanting towns to discover and enjoy. It is encircled by broad walls, the top of which is a park with trees. Beautiful Romanesque and Tuscan Gothic churches, tower homes, including one that you may climb to the top, and a Roman arena that has been fossilized into an oval piazza can all be found inside the walls. So share with us your favorite place, and subscribe to us to know more. Thanks for watching.